the Olympics. So, first off, I would like to say the Peacock sucks.
Is that the only place you can watch the Olympics? Is Peacock?
I watched it on Hulu.
Because I've heard people have been having problems like trying to.
I watched some of it on Hulu, but I tried the Peacock. That app is so like not user friendly, and it just fucking sucks. Sucks cock. The Peacock sucks cock. It's awful. It's an awful application. I hope they get that shit together. I don't understand, like, who works there? Who's working there? Do they use these apps? What the fuck? But this year, the United States, came away with the most medals. USA. And, can you pull up what we medaled in, or the events that we medaled in?
Yeah. This is from the Olympics.com.
Cool.
So right here is all the events.
Awesome.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a ton. I know our women's basketball team won. They beat Japan. I know our men's basketball team won. They beat France. We won.
Japan or China?
Japan.
Hot as fuck. That was crazy.
Do we want to go on men's basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Kevin motherfucking Durant, bro. The Durantula. Easy money sniper.
I heard he did it.
He did.
Actually, I watched that game.
He balled the fuck out.
Yeah, at the end of
Shout out to KD, the best in the world. I think if you're the best player in the Olympics, you're the best player in the world.
Probably because you're probably at your most.
The Olympics, like, they don't send like the oldest best basketball players because they're old.
That's right.
Well,
it's not a matter of like who's being.
But I'll never say Kevin Durant's the best, but
who chooses
he
to
might
go.
be.
You know, like,
yeah.
LeBron's like, I got gold medals. I'm good.
He's older too. He's like, I'm good. Kevin Durant though, like, people, I mean, the thing about Kevin Durant for me is like, I'm kind of like wondering like why he couldn't, like, when the chips were down, where it kind of went, when it kind of evened out with him and Giannis. Like, Giannis has like some firepower with Chris Middleton though. But I was like, kind of like, okay, Harden's not his best. Kyrie Irving's out. This is a good time to have Kevin Durant like overshadow like Giannis.
Just didn't have enough, man.
No.
I don't blame him for that.
Word.
Like, the fact that he
better
took
team
him,
Bucks.
He took him to
Wait,
overtime.
Am I having deja vu? Did we talk about this once? Like, I don't know.
We talked about the possibility of it.
Maybe, yeah.
So like, Kevin Durant is amazing in that he took them to 7 games and in overtime, and like got a shot off to possibly win the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's how hard he went by himself.
Fair.
He was by himself.
Yeah, and the Bucks have been building a while.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The Bucks are a real team, and Kevin Durant almost did it. So, you know, not even like LeBron can't beat a whole team by himself. Michael Jordan couldn't beat a whole team by himself. Nobody can beat a whole team by themselves.
It's fair. It's hard for me to admit, like, Kevin Durant's there, but, you know.
Kevin Durant really might be the best player in the world. He was definitely the best player on the Olympic team. And, you know, that's against the world. The world, Craig. We'll see if he plays LeBron in the finals. If we got stacked Lakers versus stacked Nets in the finals, perhaps.
It's crazy that I'm not going for, like, Brooklyn, considering I kind of grew up in New York, but...
You're a Laker guy, yeah?
Well, I'm a LeBron guy, which wherever he is. I always hated the Lakers, like, until the last few years.
I always found that interesting, man.
I hated the Lakers.
Well,
like,
I mean, I hated them
Hatred
too.
of the Lakers
Yeah.
or following LeBron, wherever.
Specifically Kobe Bryant.
People hated Lakers.
I used to, man.
I think that Kobe Bryant was never beloved as a player unless you were a Laker fan. And I think that in the Jordan era, people became fans of players. So those are two separate thoughts. When Michael Jordan came out, if you lived in Alabama, you might be a Michael Jordan fan before you're a basketball fan. Michael Jordan was in Space Jam, the shoes, the commercials. Michael Jordan was an entity unto himself. And then people also liked basketball because they were watching Michael Jordan.
That's true.
In the era after Michael Jordan retired, I think that the new fan became more of a fan of players than they were of teams.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I myself, I have teams that I like, Spurs and the Wizards.
Spurs. I didn't know that you were always a
Spurs.
Spurs guy. That's cool.
What's his
And then I have players
That's badass.
that I like I love Joel Embiid.
Mm.
I love LeBron. I like Giannis. I like KD. I like John Wall. I have players that I like.
Dame Dollar.
I love Dame.
Yeah.
Love Dame.
Can't
I
forget
want to see
Dame.
him win.
Yeah,
I want to
me
see him go to Philly and win.
That'd be cool.
It's a
When are they gonna
possibility,
release-
bro.
Philly
when
would be
when
a
they
cool
gonna
team.
re-
It's a
when do- When
possibility.
will they have to reveal what's going to happen with Dame?
When he decides,
How long does he have? You think till?
as long as he wants. So basically, here. Let me give
Give me
you.
a goddamn
I'm trying.
date.
Let me give you a better answer.
He
Let me
looks
give
at
you
me
a better
like,
answer. So, Damian Lillard is under contract right now.
yeah.
He can't just leave.
He's
The way that players are able to maneuver in the modern era is that they're able to air their level of discontent in public to the point where the team has to trade you.
It's too much bad PR.
Right. So, Damian Lillard is basically like the new Allen Iverson in that he's been on this team, he's played hard, everybody loves him, everybody respects him, but this team just cannot get right, and it's not his fault. It's their fault. So if he were to say,
He's so good.
I need to leave, please trade me, they're going to trade him.
Yeah. That's how much respect he has there. He's like, I'm ready to leave. They'll be like, I understand.
Yep.
They're
And they
literally
would just be like, I understand. Nobody would be mad at him.
Yeah.
And
So
they'd
baller.
probably let him go where he wanted to go. While also looking out for themselves. And the best way to look out for yourself if you're Portland and Damian Lillard asks for a trade is to trade with Philly. They're the only ones that have a foundational player that is for sale. There are not but a few foundational players in the league. And what I mean by foundational players is like you get this guy and then you get all of your other players to build around that guy. Example, Giannis. The way that you make the Bucks good is you surround him with people who can shoot and surround him with like people who are willing defenders.
Yeah,
LeBron.
if Giannis gets one more like crazy good guy, like oh my god, he's gonna win so much. Like
LeBron
It's crazy.
James,
Do you think
foundational
that-
player.
Do you think that Steph Curry?
Steph Curry.
Do you think that he now priced himself out of being able to afford a good team to surround himself with?
Steph?
Yeah.
They don't care about the luxury tax. Those motherfuckers have money.
Now called goals saved for
They don't
none.
give a fuck about luxury tax.
All right.
They don't give a shit.
You know,
who goes over the luxury tax the most? And is it rated? Is it exactly the same, or is it per state's per capita?
It's the teams that make the most money and have the richest owners. So if your owner has a bunch of bread and they don't give a fuck, like dude who owns Alibaba and the Nets, he doesn't give a fuck.
But whereas Mavericks, that guy isn't that rich.
No, he also doesn't give a fuck.
He has $1 billion. That's not like.
He has more than $1 billion, but even still, he doesn't give a fuck. But he's also like a basketball guy, more so than the others might be. Steve Ballmer doesn't give a fuck. You know, it's Microsoft. What's his Joe Lacob? is the Warriors owner. He doesn't give a fuck. There are some people where they're a little more mom and pop, like the Lakers, the Bus family. They're not like, they don't have Mark Cuban money. But if you have LeBron James on your team, you make a stupid amount of money.
And you're like, everyone wants to live in LA, so people want to go play there. So the Lakers are always getting like the movie. They're like the movie stars town. So like every famous basketball player wants to play there because they're like, I'll make all this money being there, just knowing people and shit.
So speaking of movie star, okay, so Space Jam.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had AD was in it. We had
Laker.
Okay, yeah, but okay, so was Dame the only one that's not a champion in that movie, or not a finals champ? So who else was in it? Was it
NECA,
AD?
Gumake, Diana Taurasi,
Oh,
Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis.
champion.
Damian Lillard is so like marketable. Like he's so
crazy.
people
He's
really
so marketable.
Yeah,
He's
they
in
He's,
love
so
he's
many
marketable for
commercials.
Yeah.
not
They
never
love
making
him.
it out of the first
Tolu
round.
doesn't just have live
Has he made it
sports.
out of the first? Have they made it out of the first round of the finals?
Yeah,
Like,
they made a
Yeah.
conference finals once. They've always made the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
they're
with
just-
him on the team
Yeah,
every single year.
yeah.
Okay, so
He's
that's
consistent.
still,
He's
it's
consistently
crazy
in the
to me,
top.
But okay, so then who was in? It was in the other Space Jam. Those were all champions too. Like
No.
no, they
Pat
weren't.
Ewing, Charles Barkley.
Oh yeah, he never made it either. Fuck.
Moses.
But still
Nah,
famous. But
Muggsy.
still,
Lazy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues didn't have a ring.
yeah,
They were just like
I don't remember any of that.
none of them could have rings because they played when Jordan
Yeah,
played. dude.
exactly.
Jordan won
They
all the
played
rings.
during the Jordan era, and like
all the guys
That's
that
a
like
fucked up.
yeah.
It's like his production team was also casted in that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like whoever the
get the
production.
guys that I beat all the time, so I can tell them to go fuck themselves.
I mean, that would make you feel like if you couldn't act, you at least could feel like you were just owning shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I appreciate just you got to dominate at every step of the way.
Also, to go
Yeah.
back to like what we were saying about like people following players and teams, I think that it's cool when people. I don't really know what it's like to really follow a team that well because I kind of really fell in love with basketball like when I started getting into LeBron. But
player era.
I know what it's like to love a team through other people, like my friends who are just been loyal Spurs fans since they were like elementary
Yeah,
kids. And it's like there is something special about. I almost am jealous of some of those people because I'm like, man, they just stick to their team even though they like never win or something. And like, or they
Hey.
get well, the Spurs win.
We
Like,
got
don't get me
5
wrong.
titles in
no,
20
no,
years.
don't get me wrong. I come from
Called
the
your
Spurs.
shit.
I come from the Spurs area, so I understand the Spurs. But what I'm saying is, it's cool to watch people like just stay with their team, no matter
Yeah.
what happens. If they're rebuilding or whatever, it's cool.
Speaking of which, we are rebuilding right now.
Yeah.
But every player on the team is under 30,
That's good.
which is a great sign. And I think Popovich just wants the most wins of all time.
How
And
many more
he's
does he
only like
need?
30.
What? He only needs
Like
30 more
30
wins?
away.
Dude, that's going to be a huge
You
deal.
look
We
that
might
up.
have to go to
Most
San Antonio
wins
for that.
an NBA coach.
Might have to go to San
Oh hell
Antonio
yeah,
for
I'm down for that
That'd
shit.
be awesome.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna get the record this year, and once he gets it, I believe what he should do, give the job to Becky Hammon.
Yeah,
She'll be the first woman to coach an NBA team,
be huge.
and she's already the assistant,
Yeah.
and she's been there for years.
He's going to make history on history.
Yep.
Greg Popovich. He's like, you know
History
what?
twice.
Yeah, he's like,
Mul-
I'm going to retire and
multiple
make it a
times.
historic. Like,
multiple times.
yeah. Greg
1,335.
1,335 by Don Nelson. How many does Popovich have? 1335. 1335.
I feel like we need to have Carr on the phone whenever he's not here.
Man, we should hit him up for like
He's like, you better just be on the line.
we should
So
hit
you're like,
him up
okay,
for
guys,
some
wrap
shit.
it up, or okay. Like, okay. You're talking too much about
It's fucked up.
Not that that's what's happening, but I don't know the fuck.
But what's how many wins is he at?
Greg Popovich, 1,282.
All right, so yeah, he's about 50 away. 50? Something like that, 53. So I think maybe
Might
he'll
be
do 2 seasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might be 2 seasons away.
Because I don't think they're a playoff team this year.
Yeah. Winning 50 games means you're doing pretty dang good.
Yeah. But that's what I believe. But back to the Olympics. We got the most medals in the Olympics this year, but it seems like nobody gives a shit. Have you noticed this?
No, I noticed.
Usually around Olympic time.
It's because we didn't win where it mattered.
Go on.
I mean, I don't want to get into COVID again.
Nah, I feel you. That's a good point.
Is it?
It was just weird to watch the whole game. It felt spooky to watch the Olympics more so than the whole new sport of basketball. Whenever like they would, and it's a special. Last year, I'm sorry.
That motherfucker hit the flying carpet on the mode. Goddamn.
Have you been seeing like the protests in Tokyo?
Yeah, I mean no.
Yeah, they didn't want
yeah.
it there. Yeah.
I think
But
Do you know why?
I think because
Nobody ever
of the
wants it there.
pandemic, like,
Yeah.
and also like the Olympics have a really notorious history of like
Yeah, they bankrupt people
ravaging
by
every
having big
country
ass
that sells
arenas that they don't never use again, and takes fucking hundreds of millions of dollars,
Yeah,
and it's their
right.
they're on the hook for it with no payback. You know, you think, and they don't make any, and they're not really even getting that many jobs there, only for like a minute. It's kind of like South by Southwest here. It's like, great, we use your city as a toilet, and then we give a few people some day passes that they can't use because they're working here half the time.
Yeah.
You know, like that's basically. I mean, that's what. Let's see. That's how I think it would be.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like a bigger version of the South by one.
Yeah, it's just it's gonna be okay. So again, it's gonna always be exploitation at the guise of sort of sports. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed really spooky to watch nobody in the stands and all this shit.
Yeah,
They didn't.
That shit's weird.
The world didn't. So we can all teams, like everybody can have teams from the best from their whole world, but they can't come together to stop a fucking virus. The whole world can't come together to figure this out. So there's nobody in the stands at the thing where like we're supposed to celebrate the peak of humanity. The peak of humanity failed, and it wasn't that hard.
There's
wasn't.
no one there to witness the peak of humanity. There are only cameras.
Yeah, it was it was spooky.
That is pretty cool.
That's a really good point. That's a good ass point. Holy shit. Damn. The Olympics was some mid, and I didn't realize why. I was like, why do the Olympics suck this year?
A crowd reaction?
There was no crowd.
There was no crowd reaction.
Holy shit, man. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was like a turd. Drop a gem on them. What you got, Ev?
That was.
You got a gem?
It was a.
That was part of a topic, but
Okay,
now
hold
it's the gem drop.
Hold on a second. Let's see what I got in the.
You got a gem, Jade?
not a worthy one. Go see Suicide Squad. Good movie. It was really entertaining. It was actually cool to see. I know it was like weird to be in a movie theater again, but it was really good.
It was a new one.
Yeah, the new Suicide Squad. And it made me realize
It's
like
on
watching
HBO
movies just
too.
on a television screen, but watching it with like huge speakers.
Yeah.
like, you really
It
appreciate
makes
the
a
sound
huge
design a lot more, and
difference.
like yeah,
Huge difference.
I feel like it.
Particularly with
helps you
certain
get-
movies, like
Yeah, right.
Suicide Squad.
I went to the theaters recently for the first
Wait,
time.
you just
in over
suggested you go to the
a
theaters?
long time.
What's that?
Wait. Oh,
Yeah, float out to the theaters, no masks.
I went to.
Jewelius Erving.
one
yeah.
recently.
Sorry, I catch the wrong
Yeah,
part of this.
cut
Like,
that
yeah,
part.
it sounds like a great
I
fucking.
took my
One theater trip of the last year and a half or whatever.
What'd you
I
see?
went to see The Green Knight.
Yeah.
How is
Oh,
it?
is that good?
It was
I've heard about
interesting. You know, I've been waiting for that movie for so long. I feel like I'd like to see it again. I liked it. I like really slow movies usually, but it was like really slow at times. But I liked it. Visually it's amazing. It's cool.
Okay.
I don't know how it it was a little I thought it
Word.
would be a little better, but it was good.
Okay. You got a gem, Jesse?
Jim.
Yeah, like a moral of the story, something you learned this week, something you'd like to share as like a parting.
Not really.
Not really. Word, go see Green Knight.
No more.
Go.
No.
Okay,
How about you,
go.
Arthur? You got a gem for this week?
Hey man, be the best man you can be.
It's a good one.
Find yourself, master yourself, and read Tao Te Ching, and listen to Bull, and listen to everyone I associate with because they're just as awesome. Yeah.
I would like to say, just stay positive, everyone. You know,
That's a good one, man.
That's a good one.
you know,
Just
stay positive and
Particularly now.
be there for your people.
Yeah.
Take care of the planet. Also, shit's getting a little fucked up.
Yeah, dude. Shit's
Wa-
looking
okay,
biblical.
watch
Yeah,
Fantastic.
man, like, it's fucking freaking me out. A
Okay,
bit,
on
but-
Netflix, watch Fantastic Fungus.
Oh, I think I watched a little bit of that. Is it on Netflix?
Everything's connected. Everything matters, and all life matters. And biodiversity, the destruction of which is causing most of these issues I think we're seeing. It's
Yes.
gonna fucking make every species on the planet is another co-pilot of existence, and we only survive through this mesh, this rope of all these species.
And support your local sex worker.
Yeah.
Also, support your sex workers.
Support them. All right. All right, I got one.
Uh,
So, Cuomo
oh.
Yeah.
stepped down this week. He has about 2
Sexual
more
assault
weeks
allegations. Oh yeah.
for sexual assault allegations. And I saw basically like 2 camps of people that were like laughing at him like aha, and people that were outraged about him not being more contrite and him not admitting to what he's being accused of.
Both.
Those are the 2 camps I basically saw.
Both.
And I feel like people are missing the greater like moral of the story. And I think that right now we're seeing a handing off of the baton, so to speak, on a generation to generation level. And if you ever watch something that takes place in like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, sexual harassment was just like a very regular ass thing that just happened all the time, that people treated as though it was common. And
Men got away with a lot.
got away with a lot. And when he did a press conference where he was talking about the allegations, he didn't even really address any of the allegations being made. He was like, what can I say? I'm Italian, I'm friendly, I like to hug and kiss men and women, I do it to everyone. But he's being accused of like groping people and like grabbing asses and doing rowdy shit.
Spacey shit.
Rowdy shit. It's not even just being like overly affectionate. And the fact that when he did this, he called a press conference in which he didn't allow people to ask him questions, and he just made it seem as though I was just being kind and polite. I'm Italian.
It's like
You don't get to decide how you made someone feel. Even if it was exactly what he was saying, if you made someone uncomfortable, then you were wrong. I wonder, does he even get that? Do people from a previous era even get that what they did is shitty? Because it is all that they've ever known. I remember watching this movie Clerks 2. Shout out Kevin Smith, huge fan. In that movie, there's a scene where Randall says porch monkey. And he doesn't know that it's racist. And they have to explain to him that it's racist. And he says, I'm going to save it. It's like, well, you can't save it. You're not black. He's like, well, look like you telling me what I can't do because of the color of my skin. You're a racist. I wonder, whenever I see people like Cuomo who don't realize that they've sexually assaulted someone, maybe, I don't know if he doesn't realize it or if he was just like not admitting to it, or people who don't realize that racism still exists, or people that don't realize that sexism still exists, or people who don't realize that they're homophobic or transphobic or just like bigoted in some sort of way that seems obvious to everybody else. Is it that they are actually oblivious? I don't know if that's a gem. Maybe it's a piece of coal. But that's what I took from it. Anyway, that's been Jewelius Erving for this week. That's episode 11. J Carr, hold your head, bro. Cause damn.
Life's gonna get sweeter, man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Live
Shout out to J.
from
Carr, man. That's some rough
yeah,
shit
for
to
sure.
deal with.
Live from Seize the Mean Studios.